And we're going back in for game... Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. I actually have to do this again. Mr. Bakery, now you hear me. I muted myself on Skype. But now we are going in for game number 2. Dignitas versus ESC. The draft is already going on. I just need to copy pasta. And I'm not good at cooking. There we go.
In a shocking turn of events, Cursed Hollow is our map.
Whoa. You already spoiled it before I show it, but yeah, there you go, guys. You have it now on stream. Cursed Hollow, Vikings banned out, Dignitas versus ESC. For those people who just joined, my name is Heflamog. Casting with me is SK Bakery. You can also see him on Twitch, of course, under TN Bakery, as well as Twitter. That is SK_Bakery, and now he's here for some pro insight on the games, giving his wisdom out to us noobs. Cursed Hollow it is. ESC, 1 game ahead. Best of 3, so next game is match point for ESC or the comeback of Dignitas. It's either or.
It is indeed either or. We see Lost Vikings ban come out from ESC.
And Jaina directly as the answer on the other side, so it's pretty much a replicate of what we had of game number 1. I mean, we were so happy that Dignitas was drafting so exotically in a way. But then again, it just didn't work out. Like, the engagement of ESC was way earlier, I think, than Dignitas predicted. So Chris on the Illidan was just not too effective. Later you saw how much damage and how much survivability came out of that Illidan, you know? He was just hammering on 4 people on it, but it just didn't really work out. And in the end, well, I think they just lost too much too early to make their comeback in the game. Not to mention that ESC was really rocking the map as in timers. Everything just panned out their way.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, indeed, he says. What else we got?
We see a Zagara first pick, which is interesting.
Yep. Usually we would see the Jaina or the Savannahs, or yeah, I guess those two if you are in a first pick and your single pick situation. But we see a Zagara. I mean, it worked out for ESC, so I guess why not?
It did indeed work out. Worked very well, actually.
But now we get the Savannahs on Dignitas side. Okay, so potentially a pushing body would be... I don't know, their Sergeant Hammer didn't really work out. What else could we actually do with... I mean, I could be totally stupid now here, but I would like to see a Nasibu, but the problem is he's completely kicked out of the meta.
I actually played quite a bit of Naziba.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think he's really strong. I'm not quite sure why everyone else doesn't think so.
Yeah, but I mean, look at all the matches. Like maybe here Enter the Storm, Gosu.cup, or even looking at other formats of ESL, etc. Like, and seeing a Nasibu is like Christmas, 2 Christmases plus Easter and your birthday. It's really it's a rare thing to happen. But we get the Vala. Okay, Vala, the 2 ladies together. So no surprise for us there. I guess Dignitas, they have to, you know, switch 1 gear back and just say, okay guys, we go for a conservative draft. We know we can win against this. No more experiments, no more Sergeant Hammers with Illidans or something like that. We just go for the old school, not impressive, but very effective draft sort of thing.
Interestingly, we do see 2 of the 4 ladies this time for Dignitas. Last time we saw 2 for ESC and they did indeed win. This time we see 2 for Dignitas.
Yeah. And Zeratul was the 5th pick last game. Now we see him quite early. And the Malfurion secured for ESC as well. Okay, so everything is pretty much standard. Here is we saw ESC and Dignitas already play in this qualifier a lot, as well as other teams. So nothing surprising so far. I mean, the Zeratul is something that will be mixed into drafts every 3 or 4 games. It's not the most common pick, but it's something you can always go for. If, for example, you have a Vala and a Sylvanas, Zeratul is someone who can do a lot of pressure. I mean, if you really look at it, a Zeratul is always focusing the ladies. He is really the lady killer. Jaina, Sylvanas, Vala, if he sees them, he jumps them. And of course they're pretty angry about it, try to kill him, but like if you're already low HP, then Singularity Strike, it just hurts a lot. And if there's another healer in the vicinity, they just get you. And Illidan comes out Potentially now a Tyrande and the Uther as the last pick. That's my prediction.
I'd like to see Brightwing here.
Brightwing? Okay.
Yeah, so what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a Brightwing specifically for the Zeratul. And it just completely eliminates his poke potential on Valan and Sylvanas, because
Yeah.
he'll blink in and he'll cast one Shadow Spike, and then he'll just get polymorphed. And we've got Silence on Sylvanas, we've got Vayne, we've got double Blood for Blood, we've got Diablo like Charles Flip combo. We've got a lot of lockdown for this Zeratul.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. And I mean, we saw the Brightwing working out well. I think the Brightwing has almost... I'm not sure because my short-term memory is horrible, but I think all the Brightwings today won. So in this qualifier, Brightwing, at least everything that has been on stream, is 100% win rate. Just like last game, the Brightwing did a good job.
The game before it won as well.
Yeah.
The first game it won, the second, I think it was on Mad Corps.
Yeah.
So I don't think it won there. But every game other than that, it's been crushing. It's been doing really well.
So Tassadar it actually is, but it doesn't give us like the main healer away. It could still be a Brightwing, even though Tassadar and Brightwing, it's not the best heal on demand. If you get me there, it's not the. But I guess like sustain wise, I could still see a Brightwing happening there. On the other side, well, we still need a good damage source because Sigara, well, strong in the early game, something where ESC is also very strong. We saw it like so far on all the maps they were very early, very strong. That is something that is supported by Sigara. The Zeratul gets a bit stronger mid game. At the beginning, he's still kind of squishy, especially if you catch him after TP, after Blink. And well, I still think we need something solid, but there's no Jaina, there's no Vala, there's no Sylvanas. What could it be? First I picked their Chen. I mean, that worked out now 3 times in a row. Why not more?
So I'm trying to think what I'd like to see here. It's kind of hard.
Well, as damage source, I'm thinking about it. What could it be? Like Illidan, I think that's too of a squishy target for a single Malfurion. Tyrande in this combination for some additional damage and support, I don't know.
I'd like to see Falstad, but I'm not too sure if ESC play it.
Falstad, yeah, we didn't have a Falstad today. We only had him once banned, so that's something that could happen. I mean, I would say Vikings, but the problem is Vikings is banned out. Vikings would be like the fifth one I could totally see here, especially since it's Cursed Hollow and just the massive map makes it really good for Vikings to get that XP advantage going. But other than that, since they already picked the Chen, we also don't see like a semi-damage tank with like a Tyrell or Arthas or something like that. It's just not coming. And it's a Sergeant Hammer. Okay, they went for the Sergeant Hammer. But so far, the Sergeant Hammer record is really, really bad. Today, at least.
I like Hammer. I'm a big advocate of her in general. Into Diablo and Sylvanas and Vala, I'm not too sure if I like it. I think she could have some troubles.
Yeah. Well, we have to see. Now, there's the Uther is still there. The Brightwing is something we talked about. Do you think anything else would make it into this, plus a Tassadar? I don't think so.
I mean, the only healer left... Oh, Vega is still up, actually. I think Vega would be okay here.
But I think
would be okay here.
The problem is like Rhaegar doesn't offer that much CC. It's just too slow. So Brightwing it is. We have the Hex over the Uther stun. I guess, yeah. I guess why not? So Brightwing Tassadar combination. It's a lot of sustained heal by the Brightwing plus the shield and of the Tassadar. I guess it can happen. Yeah, I can see it happen. But I don't know why. But I have the feeling that like damage wise and also sustained damage, especially if the hammer is a bit under attack, I fear a bit about the damage output of ESC. So maybe they completely proved me wrong and the Zeratul managed to get like a nice jump on everyone. But maybe I'm right and we see the combination of Tassadar, Vala and the Sylvanas being a bit more effective. Either way, we are going directly into the game. There we are. Lobby it is. And I think we got everyone ready. Except... Nope. Everybody's in. Perfect. I'm also... yeah, sorry.
No, continue.
I was just reading the chat. I'm always looking for... Because there's like two types of like viewers on tournaments and everything. Like some of them, they are bored by the draft. They're going AFK pretty much when the draft is happening. Some people, they say like, oh, the game, that's, you know, just execution. It's kind of boring and everything. They really like drafting. So it's kind of interesting to see. It's the same in Dota 2 and in other games where the draft is quite sophisticated. That's why I kind of not dislike. That's the bad word. But that's why I think Heroes is at the moment not as deep, also for the caster, because you don't have that many options. Like the meta is pretty strict till the patch, obviously. You don't have like many bans like in other games. In other games you have 5 bans. Here you only have to play around 1. So I don't know, that's why we see so many repetitive things, of course also because of the hero pool. But I'm looking forward. Give it another 5 Euros and 2 bans then. 5 years, 2 bans. Yeah, I think that could work out that format. And I think the draft is going to be a lot more interesting also to follow, like the strategic part of the draft.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, the point I was going to make, the interesting thing, I think this is one of the first games today where we see global presence only on one team.
Yeah.
So it is only Dignitas that has the global presence with Brightwing here. There is no ETC, there are no the Vikings, there is no Abathur.
Yep. There's the from a global perspective, this game is not gonna be, I don't know, that crazy in split and everything. I think we're gonna see a lot of clashes, 5-on-5, 4-on-4, etc., depending on who stays in lane, etc. But either way, we're going in the game, and wait. Did you check the lobby? I forgot. Like, do we have Dignitas on the left side again?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I just see Chris here. Chris was the first to spawn, and I know Chris, and therefore everything is fine. But for all those people who just joined here, my name is Heflamo, casting with SK Bakery. We're gonna introduce the team, and just to make a difference now in this game number 2 of a best of 3 here, ESC being 1 ahead, I'm gonna introduce the right team and leave you the left. So Gerd Amherd is on the hammer. We have, well, they're like spastically rotating at the moment. It's Individuum with Sagara, and that's a Malfurion is Napsa. We have Snow on the Zeratul on top, Anti-Hero on his, well, I think signature hero we can call it by now, of course the Chen. So let's see what we got on the other side.
So for Dignitas we have Chris on Valor, New York on Sylvanas, Linked on the Brightwing. In the mid lane we have Diablo for Blood Dragon, and in the bot lane we have Tomzy on Tassadar.
Yep, and now the laning actually occurs, and we see exactly what I've been saying before in the draft. It's always the triple guys just going for that early tower with the power of Sylvanas, and the rotation has to come because Anti-Hero, I don't think he can stop this. I really don't think he can stop this at the moment. He can't even drink enough booze to make up for all this. So the tower losing already 50% HP here. This is a nice, definitely a nice start here.
Do you see my Fury and Hammer coming in there?
Yep.
And Anti-Hero getting very low actually.
Oh, yep, he has to be careful. I mean, I don't think they can kill him, but, well, this really took its toll. And even with the hammer and the Malfurion here, I think they can continue with this push slowly but steadily. Bottom, well, we have a Tassadar versus the Sagara, so Sagara should, in theory, win, unless the Tassadar is actually able to get all the creep spawns away, which is quite nice, because it really reduces your HP regeneration all over the place.
Yeah. Sagara really does win base lane, to be honest. The way I'd play this as the Tassadar would just be to try and out-shove her, because Sagara's shove isn't actually very strong. A lot of people think it is, but it's actually just her tower push that is strong. In terms of actually shoving, she's not that great. Like her player isn't that great. So
yep.
you really can just out-shove with Tassadar, and that's the best way to play it. We do actually see Sagara swapping out though. We do see Chen having come down to this bot lane to fight this Tassadar, and Zagara's arrived at top lane where you're still having issues dealing with this
Yeah.
Sylvanas.
I mean, we see something pretty rare. Get him hit, he's going into siege mode, but being next to buildings and the curse coming out by Sylvanas, that's like you taking at least 2 ticks off that curse as well. So the damage overall is quite high at the moment, and they were already forced to take a sip of the well, while the others, they didn't even go there. So let's see how the rotation go now. We have a 2-on-1 situation at the moment. Hasada being pretty low, and oh, you gotta be careful. You really gotta be careful. There's Snow coming in, and he's invisible for just a second, but he's being blocked. He's being blocked, but a new shield just keeps him alive.
Last second there.
Oh, Jesus, that shield was really last second.
Yeah, it was slightly misplayed by the Tesla actually on the escape. He didn't E the Zertul W. He E'd before the Zertul W came out, and that almost cost him his life. But a clutch shield came through and managed to save him. So.
And it's quite interesting that like the aggression we had top by Dignitas is now turned around. Get him head. He took the first tower already in siege mode, and they gave away. ESC just gave away this tribute without a crazy fight. And that's pretty interesting. So Dignitas up for a good start. They're just like a quarter level behind right now. But let's see where this one is going. Dignitas, well, last game they were, I don't know, losing like a level already 5 minutes into the game. Now they're, well, still on par with them.
I mean, for all the issues that Dignitas were causing ESC up in that top lane, they didn't actually get a tower, and when they rotated people down for the tribute, ESC just walked in and took 2 towers themselves, so
yep.
That's actually put them ahead in XP.
Yep, it's pretty nice to see at the moment. Now the aggression might turn around here since everybody's back to the top lane, and also the convenient tribute spawn comes just around the corner. Then again, it's a 3-on-3 situation with the Diablo rotating in, and Snow, he had to actually get out. He has cooldown on the well, so he's not the highest HP. He is soaking XP instead, and also Anti-Hero and Tomsy, they're not moving, so we have a 3-on-4 situation here with the Malfurion taking this one, it seems, and nobody is gonna contest this.
This is another one of those tributes where, although it's on the blue side, it's actually beneficial for the red because they can soak top lane and they can get the tribute.
Yeah.
Whereas on the blue side, you cannot soak that top lane.
It's quite interesting to see because I thought they could still, I don't know, stall some time, but it didn't really work. And at the moment they want to do this like strategy, protect the siege, but it doesn't really work. The damage output on Gerd is just too much. It's just too much. He can't really stay in that siege mode, even though he did quite some nice damage. The sustained heal by Fightwing is pretty strong, but look at his damage here. Sagara going for the right clicks, and not just any right clicks. Those hurt.
They do indeed, especially the Hydralisk. And we saw Dignitas a bit discoordinated there. New York was trying to kill the Hydra. Chris and Linked were walking in to like try and get some damage or get some poke.
Yeah. Well, bottom we have still the same duel, but now of course there's conveniently another tribute spawning, always close to somewhere where the action is, and I think we don't see much aggression around tributes today. It's really just, okay, give that to them. In the meantime, we just push. We have the Sergeant Hammer here in siege mode. He's trying to do something. There's of course some nice splash damage going through. The roots are not connected, but at least they, I don't know, they do some nice damage while they're trying to siege it. But in the end, the siege is more successful than I think the hammer is actually repelling them.
Yeah, they do get some of that XP advantage back through getting that tower. They sadly don't manage to get the second, which would have got them fully back in it.
And look, the aggression again. Sergeant Hammer on the edge, but that's the good thing, like about siege mode, you can hex it and then your siege mode is gone. You do not stay a sheep in siege mode. But now the Zeratul is coming in. We have a slight imbalance here in that top lane now, but Zeratul is not coming in. He's not jumping anyone. And Gerd, oh, do they really want to go for this?
Diablo's actually headed in.
Yeah. Oh, Diablo, but he can't really grab anyone. If he gets a cigar, that might be something, but no, she's just too fast on all the creep on the crown. That's just not working.
Nep's actually playing really aggressively. I would like to see Diablo punish him for that.
Yep, and at the moment the Zeratul could in theory just pick up that tribute alone if they keep the aggression, but they're not keeping the aggression. They're just coming back, and now let's see who's joining the fun right here. At the moment it's, oh, get him head. That's a
really
very awkward
nice,
position here.
CC chain there from Dignitas. Really
Yeah.
nothing again.
That's a given away tribute. Sergeant Hammer just lifted over the shoulder, judo style, and there was no way for him to escape. So, was this our first blood? Yes, this was our first blood.
It was our first blood.
Yes. So far the game was really just, it was all close and everything, but look at Antihero. He's really doing all the job, and Tomsy now actually in trouble here, but there's a Brightwing coming in, there's a new shield, and now Antihero finds himself in kind of awkward position. The Zeratul comes here, he does some damage, but that's it, blinking over the wall, and that's it. But Antihero is doing what he does best, getting all the buildings out of ammunition, and then just doing his work.
It's a good escape there from Tassadar. He used the fort quite well to block the autos, turned on the Chen Q, so...
Look at top. Level 10, or level 11 now, was actually the goal. They started at level 10, so with the Napalm Strike, obviously, by Sergeant Hammer, bosses are going pretty fast. Now the Cigara as well. And yeah, they're gonna get that boss pretty fast. And on the other side, Dignitas didn't even think about a boss. They go for the Bruiser Camp. So that's quite an imbalance here, I have to say. And do they follow this boss, or do they just go for this Bruiser Camp and then maybe head bottom for the other boss?
Yeah, I don't really like how Dignitas is playing the map right now. They really did just give up a boss for nothing. Although this is the Cursed Tribute, so this is gonna decide who takes the lead out of this early.
Yeah. So the choice is pretty much Curse versus the other boss, but at the moment at ESC they are not going for the other boss, which they could have done, except the Curse for another boss. But in the end, nope, they're just going for this fight. It's a 5-on-4 situation, but now everybody arrives and is coming in. But Gadam Head, you gotta be careful. He's trying to pump some mines through the obstacles here. Only one of them actually goes there. A lot of creep is around the area, also giving vision here. Who's there? Link is standing directly on top of it. They're not clearing it out at this point. And Tassadar, yeah, Tassadar is starting, trying to tag it. Blood Dragon the same, but as long as there's Napalm Strike, there's no one actually able to do something.
They have Napalm Strike and Moonfire, they have Cigar Creeps. Yep. There really is no way that they can get this 50.
Nope, I just don't see why happening. But Tassadar actually makes a nice channel here, so someone has to jump on him. There's a Moonfire, making it possible. Get him head. Oh, there's actually just 1, 2 in the Void Prison. Now this Apocalypse, it's actually quite nice. It hurts so much. The Waiting Arrow directly on top. We have a 2-for-1 trade at this point. The barrel is coming out. Chris really in an awkward position. He's going down, but the Cigar is falling just a second after this. Tassadar and the Archon. I don't think they can get him down. There should be a new shield in just a second, as well as Illidan. Oh, God, he's trying to get out and he's managing. So Antihero is the last one standing, but he's surrounded by 3, and even a Tanky Chen can't really do anything. Get him ahead. He's still trying to do something with the Napalm Strike, but Nurok is already there, pumping all the arrows in it. Antihero, they really want to stall some time, but Brightwing coming back into it, and no! The Napalm Strike.
This is the curse for Dignitas.
The Napalm Strike was like a centimeter, or not even a half a centimeter too short. Just some pixel away from interrupting and starting some more time. In the end, ESC, they get the curse against them, but they're still half a level ahead. So it's not the end of the world, but it was a nice stalling fight there.
Yeah, I gotta say, really well played team fight by Dignitas, despite losing Link almost immediately on the Brightwing there. The APOC and the Whaley Arrow were fantastic.
And now we have to see what's happening here, because they go for the boss. The curse is probably the best time to use this. Snow is observing this. And the question is now, yes, ESC is coming in, but there's vision on Snow. He's losing quite some HP, but of course the boss is bashing you. Brightwing is coming in. They need that heal. Now it's a 3-on-5 situation, 4-on-5 situation. Napalm Strike helping there as well. Can they actually steal this boss? Now the boss is on the other side, focusing the other people, but boss is going down. The Antihero getting lifted over by the Diablo, but it's not the target you really want to focus. There's the Apocalypse, but oh my god, the barrel, they actually make it. They make it, they steal the boss. The Iceberg is securing that Malfurion was about to die, but the real victim of this fight is the Brightwing at first, then the Vala is following right after. Look at Nepsa, he's on the edge. The Archon is trying to get him down. It's not working. Oh my goodness, it's a 5-man wipe. Whoa. ESC just did the fight of the century. This is a boss. This is a 5-man wipe. Only the Diablo spawns because he has the souls for it. But that's pretty much it. And if he's not careful, he might even die a second time right here. Look at the HP.
Very almost overextending there. And there's now a 2-level lead for ESC. And they're not done. They're gonna continue on to this keep it.
Yeah, this is a almost full HP boss, so why not just continuing? But they lose accidentally, more or less. That's Zeratul.
Out of nowhere, going down.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, look, we have 2 ogres and we have a golem, so this keep is going down, which means ESC can say like, yo boys, let's go home. We just got an awesome fight, so keep is down. The first objective done in the base. 1 lane is lost, and they have still a lot to do. Top is already working on their own base. I mean, it's just gonna break pretty much 1 tower, maybe 2. But they have a bruiser camp to do, and I mean Dignitas is still not out of this race. They do their own bruiser camp, and then we have to see if they go aggressive. But we have a 15-16 level ratio, so it's not the best to go against level 16 at the moment.
So the good news for Dignitas here, the bosses aren't actually stagnant. Their timers are almost completely separate.
Yeah.
And that's really good news, because when like you're down this far, if the enemy team just gets 2-3 bosses, you really do struggle. But luckily for them, they are now 16, and ESC's boss is almost up.
And at the moment here in the mid, it's a bit forth and back. I don't know if Dignitas really wants to force a fight here. We have a 5-5 situation. Top, actually, that Ogre still survived somehow, is doing some damage on the keep, but he will die just from a creep wave. So then that's not the pressure, not the push you really are hoping for. In the meantime, of course, they just cleared out that bruiser camp with Sylvanas. That's the easy thing to freaking do. But oh, there's a wraparound. Anti-hero coming in the back. What is he focusing? Tomsy forcing him into invisibility. Yes, right there. And is there any follow-up? No, anti-hero is just getting focused, losing actually quite some HP. But of course, there's the booze helping with the moves.
And Dignitas does need to fight with this tribute. It would be a curse.
Yeah.
For ESC.
I mean, ESC getting a curse right now with having that advantage already, that would be quite interesting. Anti-hero, oh, there's a nice...
The VP.
Yep, just holding the back. Individuum, he has to be interrupted. He's halfway through, 50%.
Fantastic silence from Europe there.
Oh.
And the A-pod comes down.
Jesus Christ, but look at all this damage now. All this damage on Tomsy. He can get away once more, but the first one to fall is again the Zeratul. They lose him first. Blood Dragon still on decent HP, but the Ice Block at the moment securing Nepsa. Garrett gets out somehow on like no HP whatsoever. Nepsa has to run, but ESC at the moment taking a beating. Cigar still trying to do something here with the help of Anti-Hero, but it's a 2-on-3 or 2-on-4 situation at the moment. I mean, they're on decent HP, but Nepsa has to go back, taking a sip from the well. They can still stall some time around this tribute. They don't want to give it away. They want to force this curse. Hammer is also heading back, but of course Hammer is pretty slow. And Anti-Hero, oh my god.
Almost going down. So close, and Nepsa will go down here.
Jesus, that was a fight. So Dignitas back in the game, just a level behind, but to secure the tribute, which gives them not a curse against them. Now they can even go for this camp and maybe a tiny bit more. I mean, the next station would be the fight around the top boss here, which just respawn. And if they win this fight, then ESC is in trouble. But let's see what's happening.
Yeah, it's a really well played fight by Dignitas there. They really did take advantage of the indecision ESC had after that VP went down.
Yep, but instead of going a boss or anything like that, we have a go on that mid keep. There's a defense already. Gert actually went for the mobile siege mode, so actually a talent many people don't like. Say you don't need it, you don't want it, but I think here in the situations, especially when the fight go that forth and back and around tributes, it's probably a nice talent to pick up. We have another curse, a pretty close curse now here to ESC. It would be another tribute, I mean, and it could be a curse that way around Hefla. Oh, it's tired. I'm getting tired. Either way, let's see what's happening here. Tom's already getting some nice harass damage, and Gerd actually with that mobile siege mode now driving them out. Blood Dragon, well, is the focus at the moment. He's getting shield up. Anti-hero, oh, the damage on Anti-hero is too great.
Goes down here.
Whoa, wailing arrow just finish him off, and now without a tank. Oh, ESC, they have to go back. There's no way they can fight this. Maw is buying some time, but I don't think they have a follow-up on the Maw. Of course, there is some damage by Napalm Strike whatsoever. Chris makes it out. Tomsy makes it out. There's nothing coming. Apocalypse just nicely stunning it as well here. But in the end, I think they're gonna get this tribute. Chris is channeling it through. Yes! No! No! The Moonfire just interrupted it last second.
They do need to back out and heal up a bit here. They have Bright Wings, so they should be able to. They go back in onto Neptune.
Oh, look, Zeratul.
So low, and Zeratul is just cleaning up here.
Yeah, the perfect wraparound in the background. Zeratul coming in, but he pays dearly for it. I mean, Blood Dragon is so low. The circlings. No, they're not gonna get them. Not all of them impact, but he's still going down. Link. He doesn't have a charge.
So
he has to.
Does need a blink
Nope.
kill,
No, need blink. No blink. And this means Curse goes 100% certainly to ESC, but they wait with it at the moment.
And the shields are almost gone on core.
Yep. So no shield on the core, curse potentially coming, anti-hero call it probably on voice. Guys, I'm going for it, and you go for the core. I'm not really sure if the core is the best thing to do, but Gert is here, Norg is really trying to do his best.
Shields, they're already getting core damage.
Oh yeah, ESC doing tons of damage on this core now. We have 5 seconds on the respawn timer. Is Dignitas actually, after this crazy fight, losing it right here? 30%, 20, 15, 10. There's another shield, but no, they can't stop him. No, it's close, but it
a really back and forth game there. The fights got really crazy and really well played from both sides, actually.
Yep, GG, well played. Good luck in finals. That's what you usually write here, and wow, what a game. It was a crazy fight. I think the best fight was really around that bottom boss. That was, I did not expect that they actually steal the boss, but they got the boss thanks to anti-hero barreling everyone like off the platform, and I don't know, from there on ESC made like forth and back fights, but the fact is in the end that last fight, it was just not enough sustained and healed by the Pride Wing.
Yeah, I mean, the APOC didn't land on anyone, the Vayne didn't land on anyone. They got a bit overzealous maybe after they picked up the kill on Shen.
Yep.
And they tried to turn, but the backline was just so low. And Zeratul came in and really cleared it up.
Yeah, that was the biggest problem. I mean, Zeratul paid for actually clearing this one up, but in the end, he got like the important kill, the assassins just crumbling away like a cookie, one after one, like one by one, and then just who was standing? It was the Tacita, the Pride Wing and Diablo.
Sylvanas, Brightwing, and Diablo lived. Diablo was really low after that. Brightwing was really low. Sylvanas was actually quite close to full, but...
Well, this is pretty much the outcome. So 2-0 for ESCs. I guess the fans in the chat are gonna be happy. And with this being said, guys, the weekend is over. This was qualifier number 4. As I said, there are 12 qualifiers. So whoever, even of the good-looking teams, didn't qualify today, they will go and qualify next Saturday and next Sunday. The start is, as usual, 16 CEST. Remember the summertime. The cast, as usual, will rotate. Maybe we get Jester, I don't know, maybe me, maybe someone else. Nick has no time at the moment because he's playing professionally again. He's having a project. So we are always rotating the cast. So let's see who's coming next week to actually make this happen. I had a lot of fun today with you and yesterday with Thatcher. So again, shout out to you. Thanks for making the clean feed possible. So the other languages, they could cast with nice in-game sound and effects and everything. Where can people find you?
So follow me on Twitter, @SK_bakery. Shout out to my team and my sponsors, and thank you very much for having me on to co-cast with you.
Yep. It was, I mean, at the beginning you were not the most talkative co-caster of all, but then in the end you bloomed like a flower, and we finally had a conversation, and you also shared some nice information I didn't know, and also some nice insights why teams make certain decisions, because the pro player perspective on things is kind of important. Something where the casters just get the insight step by step after hundreds of games, where the pro players, they do that every day, may it be drafting, timing of the map, positioning of the map, and certain decisions to go back or to go forth. Either way, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the cast. My name is Heflamorg. You can follow me on Heflamorg, Hefla TV, everywhere, pretty much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya. Have a nice Sunday evening or whatever time zone you are in. Bye bye.